In omnibus requiem quaesivi. I have sought tranquillity in everything. Et nusquam in vini nisi in angulo cum libro. And have found it nowhere except in a corner with a book. That's Thomas à Kempis. Last week, Indiana ArtsDesk brought you part 1 in our look at book clubs, focusing on online services where book lovers meet on the net. But back in the olden days, children, logging on to a discussion occasionally involved telecommuting by car. Susan Danner owns Danner's Books in Muncie, and back in 1997, she started the first of what is now 5 book clubs that each meet once a month. Every month, about 65 people in total participate. Danner says when you read a good book, it's natural to want to share it.
Get to know people that you wouldn't probably have met otherwise, so that's one thing that a book club does for you. Another thing would be that you have someone to talk about the book with. If you read a book and, someone else in your household hasn't, you really, really like the book and want to talk about some part of it, you don't have anyone else to talk to. So by coming to a book club, you have other people that you can discuss it with. Now, they don't always like the book.
Danner herself leads each book club's discussion. She says the best meetings are when there are pronounced disagreements about that month's selection, although, as the moderator, you have to be careful to challenge people without offending them.
Well, I prefer the face-to-face because if you start talking about a particular part of a book, as I said, you aren't necessarily going to have someone say something, but you can tell if they get fidgety or they're making, facial expressions or, something that they're doing. You can get an idea of how they feel about the book.
Danner says different people take different approaches to their participation in the clubs. Some are very forthright with their opinions and need a moderator to keep them from dominating the discussion. Indiana ArtsDesk doesn't know anyone like that. Others are more retiring, preferring to listen and take in the byplay, only rarely sharing their own thoughts. That person needs to be given the opportunity to share, but not pressured, Danner says. It can be a difficult balance, she says, when you're trying to manage a discussion member in front of everyone else.
You have a lot more leeway when you're not face-to-face with the entire group and everyone else is watching what you're doing, and they can't see your body language, and they can't see you raising your eyebrows or going, oh boy, not that one. So it is much easier to do it online.
Danner's book clubs have a proud 5-year history, but one of Indiana Public Radio's own is the founder of a slightly younger book club, the Dickens Collective. Stephen Turpin, host of Morning Musicale, is an avowed Boz buff and Dickens devotee. 3 years ago, he started a book club with the goal of reading through all of the Dickens canon, and they're about to finish that up. Now comes the question, is there enough interest in the area for another group of people to do likewise? The Dickens Collective meets once a month at the E.B. Ball Center, reads about 300 pages a month. That means a book like Nicholas Nickleby can take 3 months to discuss. They discuss the book, enjoy coffee and desserts, and then watch portions of film adaptations of each book. Anyone interested in joining a renewed Dickens Collective starting next October or thereabouts should email Stephen Turpin at sturpin@bsu.edu. Now it's time for the Arts Calendar.